Alright, so this is the tutorial video for the first assignment in the Web Design 2 course, also called Web Development, depending on when you're coming in. For the first assignment, you want to make an email advertisement. So basically the idea is that whenever you get spam, basically, those are actually written in HTML and CSS, and then people open them up and there they are. But I was just thinking, I need you to make something, so this works. Basically, I just want you to make something that you're just advertising, really anything, like a product, a getaway, you know, your boyfriend because he's really awesome, you know, just anything that you want people to know about, okay? Yeah, so that's basically what it is. And you're just going to make a basic HTML and CSS sheet, right? So just a one sheet kind of thing. So this first assignment is more or less just to kind of be like almost review because it might have been a while since you've done it. So let's get to it. The first thing I'm going to need to do is this. I'm going to need to make the master folder. So just right on the desktop, I'm just going to right click and do new folder, and we'll just call this email ad. Okay, and then inside of that folder, if you remember, we need to make 3 folders. So we're going to do an images folder because that'll hold our images, and we'll do a new folder, and we'll call this one CSS, and then we'll do another folder, new folder, and we'll call this one JS. Okay, so for CSS, JavaScript, and images, those are the 3 things we need. Okay, now inside the images folder, I'm going to put my images. So I have this image that I'm going to be using, and I have this image that I'm going to be using. Those 2 there. Alrighty, so that's all set up. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So just as a reminder, now you can use Dreamweaver if you want. We're going to use Dreamweaver later down the line. I might even use it in the beginning. It doesn't really matter. You can use that if you want. If you're at school, probably should just use that. It's obviously the best. It's meant specifically for that. But if you're at home and you don't want to pay for that, I'm just going to be using this. So you can just click right on this, and this will bring you to the page for Visual Studio Code. Here's some other options. This works on both Mac and PC, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. There's brackets, Sublime Text, Notepad++. It really doesn't matter what editor you use. You just need to use one, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and use Visual Studio Code because I feel like that just makes the most sense. So we'll just do File, New File. And we're going to go ahead and say that this is a HTML5. If you remember, that's what this says. And then it's going to be HTML because you got to tell it when to start and where to end. HTML. Now you'll notice that nothing's highlighted or anything like that, and that's because we haven't saved it yet. Right now it thinks it's just a blank text document. So let's go ahead and save this. So Control Shift F or Command Shift S to save as, or you just do File Save As. And I'm going to go ahead and save this into my ad here, and we put it right inside but above these, and we're going to go ahead and name this. Oops, not that. It's going to be HTML. Where are you at? I just saw you a second ago. There we go. HTML. And if it is the home page, it's what? Index. Alright. Boom. Alright. And now you can see, woo, it's highlighted, right? So if we have our document right, it needs to have a head and a body. And you can see now it auto-completes, which is kind of nice. So let's go ahead and do a body. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Now it's doing stuff. Okay. Now inside of my head, I need to do a title. And we're going to say, I'm going to advertise this web class because that seems like something. Web Design 2. Alright, so that's going to be my title. That's good enough for now. And then I need to put yeah, that's fine. Then I need to do what I want to put in here. So I'm just going to do an H1 because that's the first level heading. And we're going to say Web Design 2. And then we'll just, I'm just going to put a paragraph underneath and say the most awesomest class. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And probably we should do, you know, above that actually, I'm going to go ahead and put my picture in. So it's going to be an IMG for image, and then SRC for source, equals quotes, and then you want to put it in there. Now, if you remember, this is saved in that file, that folder, but underneath it is the images folder, and you can see it's automatically coming up. And then this is already giving me, you know, the thing. Now, if it doesn't have that for you, you just need to go to this, go to images, and then, like, you know, click on it, and then just, like, you know, copy it, Control C, and then you can paste it in there. So I'll just do Control V, right? So you gotta make sure you have the entire name in it and the extension. Good. Like that. All right. So we got our first picture here. Oops. I thought and then this. There it goes. Okay. We got our first picture up there. I got some H1. I got a P. And then we'll do a couple H2s just to, you know, for second level headings. Like, why should you take this course? All right, and then I am just going to put in filler text for now because I am lazy. So if you remember, there is lipsum.com. So if you go to lipsum.com, and I will just have it generate 5 paragraphs. I don't really care, and I'll just take this one, Control C, or Command C, and Control V. Now notice it's doing this. This is sort of annoying, right? So what you want to do is just go to View, and you want to toggle Word Wrap, and that will wrap the words according to the, you know, the thing there. So, and I'm just going to copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, just so I have another thing. And why you, I don't know, so what does it cover? Okay. All right. And we're going to say that is fine for that. And then I am going to go ahead and put another image in just because images are always fun. SRC. And then images and wave. Okay. All right. And we will save that. And we will take a gander upon it. So let's go back here. And it's probably not going to look that great. Yay. Okay, so you see the first picture is actually not even opening up, so I'm not sure exactly what happened with that. Oh, whoops. You probably saw that while I was doing it. That must be what happened when I was trying to do the... So I'm just going to save that over top of this and hit Control R. There we go. Or you can hit F5, or you can hit refresh up here. Okay, so there we go. We got all the business in there. Looking pretty fun. Got my basic HTML. It's not anything fancy, but at least there's content in there now. Now we can kind of go from there. Okay. So, first things first is this picture is too big. I feel like it's too big. So I'm just going to we're going to decide like on a certain width and height here. So I'm going to go ahead and make it like 600 for the width, which means I need to open this picture up and scale it down. Now I can just scale it straight up in here, and I will do that as well, but it's a better idea to actually size it in you know, your program. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and use Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, where are you at? I did include under, I don't know why I call it reference, it should be resources. There's a right here, Pixlr editor. If I click on that, if you middle click, I don't know if you know that, automatically opens up in a new tab as opposed to left clicking, which will direct you there. But you can go to this Pixlr. Yeah, you can open an image or create a new image and whatever, do your sizes. But it's a lot like Photoshop, but it's all inside the browser. The only thing you need to know is that it is going to ask you to run Flash, or I don't know what they call Flash still. I don't know, but it's going to ask you to run basically Flash in here. So see, it's a little bit jerky, but it's free and it's a lot like Photoshop. So if you're familiar with Photoshop, it'll be right at home. But I'm just going to go ahead and use Photoshop because I have it. So I'm just going to go to image, and we're going to do image size, and I am just going to go ahead and change this to 600, and we're going to hit OK. And then I'm going to wait a second. Okay, then we'll Control Shift S for file save as, and I'm just going to make sure I save it right over top of the old one, and make sure I choose JPEG. Boom, save. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. And yeah, so now if I go to this guy and refresh it, you'll see it's a bit smaller. Okay, that seems too small, but I'm just gonna roll with it. All right, this guy's also too small. Now the problem is that he's a GIF, so it's not as easy as just opening it up, and I'd have to like remake it. I don't feel like doing that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scale him using the code instead. All right, so let's go ahead and add that in there as well. So we're going to go width, and we'll set it to 600. Okay, you don't actually have to put pixels in there, although probably should, but I'm not that concerned about it. Let's see, what was the size of it? And if I hover over it, will it tell me? There we go, 600 by 169 by 169. Okay. Good, and that way that's all set up. All right, so let's see, what do we got here? So I got this right here. This looks all fine and dandy. I think the whole thing, I'm gonna just try and make the width 600. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need to put some CSS in here. Now, normally, if you're doing a multi-page website, we want to put it on a separate sheet. But in this case, since it's just a one sheet, we're just gonna put it. We're gonna embed it right inside here. So it's gonna be as easy as style type text / CSS. You know, actually, I don't think I need to put this in there at all. We can just do style. You used to have to put that in there, but should still work regardless. Let's delete that. Okay. All right, tab. All right, so we're gonna put style there. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and since this thing's all the body, I'm just gonna go ahead and use body as my selector. Make my first rule here, and I'm just gonna do width, and we'll do 600 px. Okay. Eventually we're gonna make this responsive, but for right now, I'm just gonna make it a fixed width, meaning it'll be an absolute width. Okay. So we'll call that good. Now, let's see. Let's refresh this. Good. All right. So now we got this all going in there, but you can see it could look a little bit better. Let's go ahead and choose a different background color other than white, because I don't think white looks that great. Yeah. So let's do a different background color. Now, another thing I have in here for your references is this color picker, and we also have this Adobe Color. So I'm going to use Adobe Color first. But if you know the color, if you want to just straight up select a color, you go to color picker here. It'll bring you to this, and then you can utilize this. So if I can kind of do it through here, and you can click on things. Probably the best way is to use HTML5, and then you can go like this, and you hit OK. And then right here, you can use any one of these on your color, and that will do it for you. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, that's great. I don't like this new setup they have here. So let's do analogous, I guess. All right, and yeah, RGB. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this to try and come up with a color scheme. So I'm gonna grab the middle one. Let's go with something. I usually do kind of an orangey. Doesn't look that great. Let's do this. Looks not that good. Let's make you a little bit. I don't know. We'll go with that. All right. So right down here, you can actually see the numbers and stuff. So I can use these in order to work on the other stuff. So I'm gonna use this as my background color because why not? So I'm just gonna select that. Come on. There we go. And I'm gonna copy it. Control C or Command C. Oops. Where am I? Here we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and also under body do background color. Background color. And Control V and semicolon. Alright, so you can see there it is. And if we save it and pop it up, where are you at? Here we go. And refresh it. Yay, that hurts my eyes. Okay. That's a thing. Okay. That looks fine. Alright, so now what I want to do is, it's pretty obvious that, you know, there's kind of sections here, right? So I'm thinking this banner and this web design here and this are all part of the same section, like a heading, okay? Then this is a paragraph and this is a paragraph, and they're also kind of the main meat, okay? So I'm going to try and break those down using divs. So if you remember divs, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll put a div in here, and we will give it an ID since it's one of a kind. And we will just call this one heading, or header, we'll say. Let's say heading, because header is an actual thing. Boom, and it's going to automatically give me this one. So I'm just going to, if I highlight it like this, and let's see, it looks like that. If you highlight it and then middle mouse button, I can drag it here and then let go. You middle mouse button, click and hold, and you can drag it down. I got to tab this in now, right? So that you can tell that those belong there. And let's go ahead and do one here. So we'll go ahead and do another div ID, and we'll just call this one content. Okay. Boom. And we're going to plop that there, and that's actually got to tab in a little bit. Okay, and these guys have all got a tab in too. Make sure you keep everything nice and in order. Now I want these also to be paragraphs. So inside of here, I'm going to do another div. This time I'm going to do a class, and I'm just going to call it a paragraph. Paragraph. All right. There we go. And let me see. Like that and like that. Okay. And I'm going to take this and middle mouse button, drag it there. I'm going to take this and copy, Control C, Control V, take this one and drag it down there. Okay, tab, tab, and we will grab this and tab that in, and I will grab this and tab that in. Okay, good. So now we got these two tabs, two paragraphs tabbed in, and we've got this other thing pretty good. So now it's got some organization, which is good, and we can kind of, you know, work with that. Okay. So because I'm kind of doing this in a more absolute way, I think what I'm going to do is this. So originally I put this in as an image, right? But I think it would make more sense to actually have this as a background image. So originally I was thinking I was going to you know, just take this and force it over top of it, but this actually would make more sense as a background image and then put the web design and this inside there. So I want it to be the background image for this heading. Okay, now I always forget how to do the background image, to be 100% honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I would do. So if I go over here, and if you look, you can see there's HTML tag, CSS rules. I have these two different references. I need to know the CSS, so I'm just going to click on this, and it's just going to bring me to the CSS reference here. And then I can use this. You can also, if you wanted, go to CSS, and then let me see, backgrounds. And let's see, background color, background image, right there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So that's what I need to do. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and go to my code, and I'm going to put this onto this heading. So it's going to be dot, because it's a class, heading, and then I'm going to paste it in there. And then instead of big desert.jpg or background, oh, desert, I know how to read. It's going to be images slash, I shall just copy it here. Okay, Control C and Control V, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that out of there, and let's save that. And we will go over here and refresh, and it didn't work. That's great.